I was standing in front of the closet picking out the somber colored clothes I wear them just for funerals. And that day we were saying last goodbyes to an old friend, community member. We had just enough time to get dressed and get to the church, and the phone rang. I don't have time for a phone call. And it's ringing again. And I think, I've got to go. I'm gonna not answer it, but I do. It's my job. Hello, can I help you? The breathy woman on the other end of the phone. Is this the lady in charge of cemeteries? And I say yes, because I am. I didn't ask to be the town cemetery sexton. They called and said there's a whole lot of Stearnses in the cemetery and one of you should take care of them. We've chosen you. And they gave me the job. And I became the sexton in charge of burials and so forth, and record keeping and prank calls. Yes, I am. What can I help you with? She could barely talk. Please, slow down and tell me what the problem is. I was walking through the cemetery with my dog. We do this all the time, and I'm not crazy, I'm telling you. But there was a hand coming out of the grave. Yep, it's a whack job. And then I think, oh, I can get out of this. There's 22 cemeteries in this old colonial town, and I'm only in charge of 2 of them. And I say to her, what cemetery were you in, ma'am? The village in the center. Oh, it is one of mine. Perhaps you were in the old section, with graves going right back to the early settlers. Oh no, I was in the back section, the new section. Yeah, right where the funeral's going to be in less than an hour. And ma'am, if you walked in the center road of the cemetery, was the hand on the left or on the right? It was on the right-hand side. So's the funeral in less than an hour. Ma'am, there's a really unique stone there, a gray monument with a polished gray granite ball at the top. Very, very different and unique. Was the hand anywhere near the gray granite monument? Yes, it was right near it. And so is the funeral. And time is ticking, and I know I'm not going to the funeral. I take her name and number. I'll call you back. I can't believe I'm doing this. I drive down the road and I pass the church and I see my friends entering through the front doors. I see silhouettes through the windows. Everybody waiting to say goodbye, and I drive right past. And I turn down the cemetery road, and I drive in through the granite posts, and I back out and I go down the road. I'm not going to park in there. I go down and park next to the gravedigger's truck, and I look at him with imploring eyes. Would you bring a shovel and go for a walk in the cemetery with me? And he looks at me because I have never asked him to do anything like this. I just had a really strange phone call. We head down the center aisle of the cemetery, and I tell him there's a hand, and she described it coming up out of the grave, and from the fingertips, the white bones, the earth and the moss is draped. And we walk. He holds the shovel in front of him. It's a gorgeous October day, like we've had many of lately. Golden leaves, red highlights, sunshine, and he holds the shovel in front of the 2 of us, and we walk very slow. And we get down to the great gray ball. And I look, and there's a hand coming out of the grave just over there, and I look at him and he looks at me, and we both see this hand with the dirt dripping from the bones. I can't believe what I'm seeing, and I can barely breathe, and I certainly can't move. And across the meadow I hear the church doors bang open. They're coming. We've got to do something about this. You go first. No, you got the shovel. You go first. We approach very carefully, very slowly, choosing where we step for fear the other hand might grab me. And we bend to look. He takes the spade end of the shovel and he lifts the hands, and the little bony hand is on the shovel, and he's walking and it's shaking as he carries it, and we walk towards the woods. and we can hear the funeral procession coming toward the cemetery. And he lets launch with that thing like a catapult, and the hand arcs up in the sky, and its fingers point down to all those who've left town already. And it falls with a thump into the forest. And I look at him and I think, I can't believe you did that to the hand. And he turned and smiled with a Cheshire cat grin and said, raccoon ribs.